Namaskaram. Shri Mahaganapatiye Namah. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Welcome to today's humble samarpanam on Mayilpeeli. Today we shall chant, learn and understand the slokas of Narayaneeyam Dasakam 47. Let us first chant the sloka and then understand the meaning. Dasakam 47 talks about the Damodar Leela, Krishna getting tied to the mortar. When baby Krishna was left half-fed by Yashoda to mind some household chores, he got angry and broke the curd pot. Angered by this, Yashoda tried to tie him to the mortar, but the length of any rope was not just sufficient. Seeing her exasperated, Lord Krishna allows her to tie him to the mortar, or rather he gets tied to the mortar as he did not wish to trouble Yashoda anymore and surrenders to her motherly love and affection. Dasakam 47, Sloka 1. Ekada dadi vimatakarini mataram samupasedivan bhavan stanyalolupatayav nivarayan Ankametya papivan payodharo. O Lord, once when your mother was churning the curd, you approached her in the eagerness to be breastfed. Obstructing her churning, you climbed up her lap and suckled at her breasts, is what Bhattadri says. Here we understand that once thirsting for breast milk from his mother, who was churning curds, Krishna stopped her halfway and climbed on to her lap and started suckling at her breasts. Dasakam 47, Sloka 2. Artapita kucha kukmale twayi snigdaha samadhurananam bhuje Dugdamishadahane paristutam Dartumashu janani jagamate. O Lord, you had halfway suckled her lotus bud-like breasts with a charming smile playing on the sweet lotus-like face of yours. Just then your mother went away in a haste to quickly hold the milk which had overflown on the fire. When Krishna was thus happily engaged in suckling her breasts, when Yashoda remembers that she had kept milk to boil and she leaves Krishna and got up hastily to attend to it, leaving Krishna half-fed is what we understand here. Dasakam 47, Sloka 3. Samipeta rasa bhanga sangata krodhabara paribhuta chetasam Mantadandamupagruhya patitam Hantadeva dadibhajanam tvaya. O Lord, having drunk halfway and as a result the joy being interrupted, your mind was overcome with great rage. Oh, then taking up the churning rod, the curd pot was broken by you is what Bhattadri says. Krishna was filled with anger at being abandoned by Yashoda in the midst of being fed. He takes the churning rod and broke the pot of curds is what we understand here. By this what we need to take away is that nothing else should be more important for us other than Krishna. Dasakam 47, Sloka 4. Uchchaladvanitam Sannishamya janani samadhrutam Tvadyasho visaravaddha darshasam Sadhya eva dadi vistrutam kshitau. O Lord, your mother came running when she heard the loud sound rising of the pot being broken. Right then she saw the curd spreading on the floor, even like your pure unblemished fame spreading in the universe is what Bhattadri says. Hearing the loud shattering sound of the pot being broken, Yashoda, who came there running, found the curd spreading all over the floor, just like Krishna's fame which spreads everywhere, is what we understand here. Dasakam 47, Sloka 5. वेदमार्गपरिमार्गितं वृषा त्वामवेक्ष्य परिमार्गयन्त्यसौ सन्ददर्श सुकृतीं युलूखले दीयमाननवनीतमोतवे. O Lord, you who hast sought after through the path of the Vedas were not even seen anywhere by your angered mother. She, the fortunate one, searched everywhere and saw you sitting on the mortar, feeding butter to the cat. On hearing the sound of pot breaking, Yashoda comes running and does not find Krishna anywhere. Then she goes in search of him, full of rage. What we understand here is that the blessed Yashoda finally finds him sitting on a mortar, feeding butter to a cat. Dasakam 47, Sloka 6. Tvam pragruhya batabhiti bhavana Basurana sarojamashusa Rosha rushita mukhi sukhi puro Bandhanaya rashanamupadade. O Lord, Yashoda, with her face quivering due to anger, hastily caught hold of you, whose lotus-like face was looking very sweet with pretended fear. As her friends watched, she took a rope to tie you up, is what Bhattadri says here. What we understand here is that Krishna had put on an expression of fake fear on his radiant lotus-like face, and Yashoda was red-faced with anger. She takes a rope to tie Krishna in front of all her friends. Oh, how foolish of her to think of tying Krishna, the one who unties the bonds of all. Dasakam 47, Sloka 7. Bandhumichati yameva sajjana Stambhavantamayi bandhumichati Sani yujya rashana gunan bahun Dvyankulo namakilam kilaikshata. O Lord, all good men want to bind themselves to you alone in devotion. But, O Lord, Yashoda, desiring to tie you, found the length of the rope short by 2 fingers, even though she attached many pieces of ropes to lengthen it. Always she fell short of 2-finger length is what Bhattadri says. Yashoda wanted to tie Krishna with the ropes physically, whereas his devotees, the good and virtuous, wished to be bound to him with the rope of love. Tying together numerous strands of rope, Yashoda still fell 2 inches short of the required length of rope to bind Krishna is what we understand here. She uses up all the rope in her house and also borrows rope from the house of her friends and joins them all, but still she would fall short of a 2-finger length. Dasakam 47, Sloka 8. Vismitosvita Saki Janekshitam Svinna Sannavapusham Nirikshatam Nityamukta Vapurapyaho Hare Bandhameva Krupayanva Manyataha. O Lord, as your mother's friends were smilingly watching her with wonder, you saw her body perspiring and exhausted due to the effort. O Hari, you who are the ever-free being, out of compassion accepted the bondage, is what Bhattadri says. As her efforts to bind Krishna repeatedly failed, Yashoda became tired and was sweating profusely all over, while her friends watched her with smiles of amusement on their faces. Taking pity on her, Krishna, who is the embodiment of eternal freedom, permitted her to bind him. Oh, this was such a wonder of wonders. Dasakam 47, Sloka 9. Stiyatam chiramulu khale khaleti Agata bhavanameva sayada Pragulu kalabilantare tada Sarpir arpitamadanna vastitaha. O Lord, as Yashoda went back into the house, she said, You rope, stay tied like this to the mortar for long. You stayed there eating the butter which you had earlier placed in the cavity of the mortar is what Bhattadri says in this shloka. Having achieved her aim at last, Yashoda went back to the house, determined to leave him in that state for some time. But Krishna sat there happily eating the butter he had earlier hidden in the hollow of the mortar is what we understand here. Such were Krishna's delightful pranks as a child. Dasakam 47, Sloka 10. Yadyapasha sugamo vibho bhavan samyatha kimusapashayanaya evamadi vijaira vishtutho vatanata paripahi mam gadat. O all-pervading being, if you are easily attainable to the desireless people who are not bound by desire, how was it that Yashoda was able to secure you with a rope for binding? You whose glories were thus sung by the gods in heaven, O Lord of Gurubhyo, may you save me from my ailments is what Bhattacharya prays here. Only those who have cut the rope or the pasha of material desire are able to attain Krishna easily. Then how could Yashoda bind him with the rope or pasha of worldly attachment is what one wonders here. But Yashoda was so blessed that the Supreme Being got bound due to her love and affection. Let's understand that Krishna can be attained by deep devotion and limitless love. May He, the Omnipresent, give us that devotion and the ability to limitlessly love Him. Hare Krishna. Govinda Nama Sankirtanam. Govinda, Govinda. Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Shri Haraye Namah. Shri Mahaperiyava Sharanam.